And I've actually done it on it just came back to me. I've done this once times before where I was doing an Om meditation from YouTube, and I was oming with the tunes, and I hit my body's frequency or something. It was like my whole what's it called? Your whole chest, the rib cage was like, and I was like, it snapped me out of it. I was like, what the fuck was that? It became so loud.
So if you understand its pressure that's being created, so it's like a speaker.
Yeah.
So that's a pressure wave. It's not sound, but we audibilize it, we conceptualize it, we hear it as frequency, right? But it's a pressure wave that's being created. And that pressure wave comes from a resonance chamber, which is harmonized modulated through the vocal cords, but the frequency of it is in the intention. So in the in the way of the way it extrapolates out is in the way that it's the intention that you give it. Now you can give it a depth with this Om, which is a resonant, but what does it mean? And in that way, it's a resonant chamber, and it's a
well, if we do have the resonance chamber, you can change different tones or different frequencies.
So which one's utilitarian, and do you need to look into that path? Is that a path for you? Now, I don't disagree with that path at all, because there's a lot of people that do the breathwork sort of stuff, and
maybe I don't know, but something excited me inside of it with being, so there's something to go explore there that sparks my interest.
So
there's
use it as a signpost.
The next couple of days I'm going to ask some more questions.
Use it as a signpost. Use it as a guide or a reference place, something like that. So it's just okay. That's interesting.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Interesting. Let's go explore that a little bit.
Yeah, there are things that pop up like that. That's what I spent quite a lot of time doing that, mate, to be honest. But then the whole...
Just, I haven't had that, like, ooh, that was interesting. I haven't had that for a long time. Like, internally, that, ooh, fun.
You've got to change your aspect of interest into what you're looking for. And into areas, you haven't got to, but you can look at it as the interests that you looked for before, what did they get you?
They were feeding my ego.
So what we're going to look for now? Something that's not interesting. Okay. What does that look like? Right? So in this way, it's taking the base concept of, it's not interesting, I can't find anything. Okay, so you're looking for something that's not interesting. All right, where's that? And that's in that silence, right? Until you get to the place where you go, what the fuck am I looking for? Right? And there's your neutrality. But in between these two is the place of looking for something that's not important. Hence, it's difficult. There's no discipline in the willpower for it. But it's got to be opposite to what is important. Otherwise, you're not. This is what you need. The other one's what you want. Yeah. In that respect, and there's your negotiations with your own ego as to how much time to offer to that aspect of you that's looking for something that's not interesting. Versus the one that wants to be interesting, right? And okay, so we're going to negotiate, we're going to do a certain amount of things, but this is where we're coming back to, isn't it? Right? That sort of concept that you're with now. We've got to come back to here, haven't we? We've got some importance here, haven't we? Not that now. Come on here, and that's the bit that's nagging. The bit that, well, what's there? I don't know. Yeah, but it's important, isn't it? That voice that's not really a voice, but I can't stop looking.
It's the knowing.
Right.
There's something there, but I don't know what it is, but I know something's there.
Yeah, now, do I lose myself in that anymore, or do I concentrate on that?
Yes.
And that's, if you looked at it from a position of employing an apprentice, and whilst the apprentice is learning, you oversee it. You oversee him. But once he knows, you can trust him.
Yeah.
Okay. then now you are the apprentice. You've got to earn trust by doing it. All right. Now you don't even know what to do, but you're honouring that. Okay. So these are abstract values, abstract thinking. They're not. Okay, yeah, I know, but what the fuck is it? These are. It's like, well, it doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense. But what you're going to honour, what you're going to look for, what you're going to give time for, what you're going to pay attention to, right, becomes more and more focused that way into something that's like fucking so big. Because everything, and now we're getting into places where it's coming into clarity. How much was trivial?
Yeah.
Right? How much was transient? How much was just a perspective in the moment? Now we're starting to see the bigger picture in how it's squashing time. It's taking detail and removing detail into just, well, that was what it was. All right?
Yeah.
There's a ball there of what it was, but it's gold. It's not got detail on it, but it's got full of detail. It's full of it.
Pretty good description of it, yeah.
And I recognise every detail that anybody else speaks about because mine's full of it too. Just in a different little way, but it's the same.
Yeah.
And so it's strong because now you've got perspective, right? And once you've got that, what have you got to be accountable for? You've already got it all in friggin' detail as a point of principle now, as a point of, wow, okay, yeah, now I can, thank you. I don't need to be in that anymore. I'm not going back. No. Now we can see.
We both know that's the conversation I still haven't had.
You haven't got to it yet, but you get to the point where you do, right? And this is that thing about earning it. So in the earning of it, you're going to pay attention to it. You're going to be disciplined. You're going to value it above the distraction. You're going to do things towards it, even though you don't know what it is. Because you don't know what it is, it means you can only do things, little things, action little things, because you just don't know what it is. But what does it look like? What it looks okay. So what should I represent? But not just externally, but inwardly. What am I thinking, right? And now, how do I put that into the world? How much do I negotiate myself into it? And how much do I bring it to, let it come to me, you know, and rather than me think I'm going to change it. No, I've learned that doesn't work. It doesn't change because you want it to. Yeah. It's showing you to stop bothering trying to change it, understand it and accept it for what it is. When they show you what they are, believe them. It's limited. It's just a limitation. That's all they are. Acting a limitation out. That's all it is. No condemnation, just understanding of, okay, that's where we are. Right. I don't play there anymore, but I understand that you do because I used to.
Yes.
Sweet. Now, if you want to play down there, gravy. But if you're talking to me, no. We're not having that here. Let's get some rules in place so that we can have some fundamental agreements when we communicate that this isn't the stuff you're bringing to the table. Now, at the beginning of the conversations, whenever we talk to anybody, or whenever I talk to anybody, we talk about, are you more or are you less, and do you want to talk about that? Do you want to go into it? We'd like some perspectives, because we've got to set the ground rules, right? So that's something we can always come back to. Remember, you agreed. Hold on, you said this.
Yeah.
Right. Remember at the beginning. So I was open. The only difference is that they didn't know what it meant.
Yes. I recognize that.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
So they were there, but they didn't know what it meant. That's all right. They forget. Okay. They think they know, but they don't. All right. So be it. But in the moment, I remind them, hold on, you said this, and now you're saying that. Hold on, we've already said what? Why?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. No excuses. Remember, we've already talked about excuses and justifications and defences. No. Right. So,
yeah.
Why? Shiny things, was it? Was it a shiny thing in that way? Was it? You got, distracted. To some, I've got to the point of, well, as soon as one distraction and we're done. There's no value in this conversation because it's been devalued so many times. And the shiny things still come in, the distractions still come in, the denials still come in, the places we can't go to because there's fear still come in. We can't, and they try to take me with them by telling me something else so that we move focus. I understand it, so I'll go with them, but I'll bring them back. Hold on. after, it depends how many times they've gone down, what path they're doing, and
I was seeing myself doing that.
whoa, come back, whoa, Bessie, come back here, come, whoa, come back here, come on. Let's have some sense, let's have some, what's the word? Coherence would be one word for it, but I don't know what the word is. I had a word for that. Coordination, if we're going to dance.
Yes.
Along, I was doing this, and it was this sort of area. So let's have some coordination if we're going to dance. You know, okay. You know, if we're going to have a communication.
It does look a little better when you have a little bit of coordination.
So if you're trying to lead one way and they take you off the other way, you end up falling over, flat on your face. No, what are we doing that for, right? So we have to find where that is, which is a function of distortion, a corruption, a lessening. We've all understood it. A place of ego manipulation into falsity, and the need for fluff because we can't deal with the gravity. We haven't remembered yet. We've all got through that situation, so it's not something that's unusual. It's everywhere, all the time, with everybody, or most people are going through this all the time.
Yeah, I see that more and more as well in my own story. My own story reflects beautifully in other. The function is the same, but the story and the fluff is different. Yeah. Same.
Yeah, and that pulse, I see it as a breath, the universal harmonic. It comes in. This is what you want, is it? All right, there you go. Have fun with that. Right, and it comes back round again. And it, bump, you want it again, dear? And you keep going through this process. What the frick was that? You keep going through this process of
don't push that hard.
being recycled. There you go, boom, boom, boom. Of being recycled through this process of misunderstanding the situations, thinking it was about the outside world and not bringing it in, not learning from them, thinking that everything else will change, and it doesn't.
I was sitting in my mind with. We're skipping over, like, no, there was more value in there, but we asked the wrong questions. We get hung up on, we skip over it. So we actually get the realization, we have the conversation, but it just, like, right over your head. But it still goes in. It must still go in.
It doesn't. What it does is it gets bypassed. It's almost like it's a spectrum of colour that it goes through. It's just devalued to a place of it goes through a static. It becomes gobbledygook because it can't be understood. So it doesn't go in, but what it does is it repeats in your pattern of it. It's not something they're taking in then, they already have it. It's something that's repeating in them, and you'll learn it needs to be zapped out. Whether it needs a little bit, because otherwise it's just fucking pointless. And those when you're using your sword of truth, it's a scalpel really in these areas, because what you're doing is you're touching the distortion. You're touching the lack that they're exhibiting but won't accept.
Yeah.
And you can take
That's why they fight you so much.
Yeah, and but you're taking it back to, hold on, principle. We're going back to a principle here. This is not what's going on here. You're trying to manipulate this because why? I'm not. But you're telling me I am. No. Principle of this. This is not a valuable exchange. No, right? Or however you look at it. Now they may not get that in the aspect that they're in. But what you're doing it for is for their higher soul. You're doing it for the true higher self and saying, whoa, not doing that. No. But the way you say it here is to point it out to the other. Yeah. So they know, that's done, right? Yeah. And the way you do that is by pointing to what they're doing in a way that they cannot deny, but will deny vehemently, because now it states it. Yeah. Now, whether that you're trying to emotionally manipulate me, the narcissistic viewpoint, why do you keep trying to emotionally manipulate me back into your playground? What is this about blackmail? What do you think I owe you?
Yeah.
Zoom. In a way of standing up and saying, hold on, you're trying to take me one way, I'm trying to go with you, but come on, we've got to go together, man. No. Yeah. You don't know that path. I do. Come this way. Right? If you don't want to, sweet, walk away. But no. Right? All of these ways of introducing those themes don't have to be like that. But this is what I'm saying is this is the way you can view it inside as a concept. To these sort of painting a picture, it doesn't play out like that. What it plays out in is a way of you trying to guide them until they show you that they don't want to see. And then they want you to see what they want to see and go with them.
The fluff they want to.
Right.
Always tell about the fluff.
The fluff. And that's not of importance. It's
Devil's in the detail, right? You get stuck in the detail, or you're overcomplicating and adding and adding and adding.
So they don't know. Now, what I'm going to tell you now is, foundationally, you've got to have, for me, quite a lot of information already understood by them, previously disclosed, before any kick like that, any interaction like that. Prior to that, I would remove them from my company quicker. I would just not get involved with them.
Yes.
Right? Because if it's going to go that way. So if this is a repeat offender, fine. Because if there's been previous conversation, as long as you know what you're doing and you're not playing their game, then principles and boundaries and understandings would have been obtained for agreements. If we're going to chat, do you agree about this? What do you think about that? These are agreements on where they are and what they think they are. Right? So in a way of understanding the situation is, well, who are you talking to?
But I found that and including finding out how much distorted my own picture is of the truth.
When you can empathize and overlay your own empathy with them, then you can see how distorted you were in the past.
Yeah.
With your judgments.
I'm coming around to that.
Right. So, but that's your judgments of the past, and that's your aspects. Okay. Now they're going to play out still, which is your ego. They're still going to play out a little bit because they give you a signal of where it's coming from.
All right.
So in that respect, well, not play out, but they'll tell you. So you'll get a picture in your mind of who the fuck do you think you are, Bellend, or that sort of thing. You know, it'll give you an image. I'm just giving it in a narrative, but an image of how almost like a jolt.
Resistance.
It's trying to. It wants to fight. It wants to bite. It wants to. It's this insecurity. It's this injustice. It wants to fire from an injustice. It feels it, but it doesn't. Normally, it would drag you down into a debt thing and a tit for tat and details and all of this stuff, trying to get the point across, which was obvious it was not going to be received in the beginning. But you keep continuing, and that's this pulling you down. I can do it. I can do it. I can. No, what you're learning to do is not do it, and find the ones that you can do it with.
Yeah.
Now, the ones that come around all the time, the ones that you may see a lot, then you can just set a boundary. So with others, boundaries are around it. You're doing the same thing again, love. Why are you doing that again? And it's a distant thing. It's not pumping. It's not close. It becomes less.
And the way you address it is not personalized.
None of it's personalized because it's functional.
Exactly, but for them operating there,
it feels like it. But in this respect, and I say this with the most dignity, most honor, fuck feelings.
Yeah.
And the feelings, no, this is bullshit because that's where manipulation, loving, higher, conscious, expansive, beautiful feelings. But the other ones.
In some sense, the feelings are a little bit. Can you call it the devil's keyboard?
Yeah.
Kind of things. It uses
the
feelings to put stories to make them seem greater and bigger than what that
it's
actually
attached to emotion.
Yes. So now it adds value to it for our perspective, limited perspective. It adds the value of it. Now we treasure it and protect it and even die for it in some sense. People die for their beliefs.
It's upside down. It puts good underneath bad, so it makes bad right. It makes virtuous wrong, vicious, and vicious virtuous. It turned the table on things. So what the inversion that you're talking about, the corruption, it made that which is immoral moral. and
That's
that which
what's
was
going
moral,
on at the moment,
immoral.
in some sense, in the world.
That was a dynamic. I see it as a code within. It was a switch of function, a switch of patterning within the coding, within the realm, that created this corruption of inversion on these levels of those frequencies, which are emotionally attached to the human in a carbon form, the survival instinct, and these corrupt there, and that's perpetual hell. Perpetuation of inner turmoil, because what's right is wrong and what's wrong is right, but you've got you know it's wrong, but it's not, it's right, and all of this constant,
It's the perfect prison.
self-created, self-perpetuating, but done through corruption.
Yeah.
And it's that corruption.
It's actually quite elegant, beautiful in a distorted way, but in some sense there's elegance to it. Actually, I see it now. Like that's actually well played.
We can call it corruption or limitation, right? So an element of limitation, an element of corruption. All right. How did that limitation manifest it manifested by this corruption. It was designed in. All right. So it doesn't matter what name we give it. It's what it's done.
Yeah, the
and
function of it.
Right. And it's the function of it. So it doesn't matter what name, it's the function. What did it do? It contracted and limited until we released it. So it was there at the beginning, even if this was what it was created for.
Yeah.
The limitation that's been injected or created within this environment is now finishing.
But that is so difficult for me to comprehend, understand,
Yeah.
feel, know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
We're coming back to that. My mind can follow and understand and make some of the puzzle, but that then it comes to a point where the mind just goes,
I call it what it is this exploration part of it, right, which is expansion. But for many, it's not been explored, right?
Yes.
So, and for me as well, when I go on these areas, it's not that it's there, but I just haven't necessarily ran down it like that, right? But okay. So in that exploration of it, when I go along that path and outline it the way I do, there's a chord progression. There's a progression of the logic. There's a progression of the harmonic. And I call it an assumed chord progression because the other doesn't know it. But I do. So there's an inside there's an assumption, there's an assumed chord progression. You're following. And that when you lose it is that too far. The chords don't make sense now. I lost the symmetry. It's where we're exploring, where you're pushing, where we're exploring. The symmetry of the concept of it disappears. It just gets the fuck. What does that mean? And kind of a lot disappears. But that was pushing. What do you think?
I'm just downloading.
Applying new information. What does it mean? Alright. Just good on you, bro. Saw something you hadn't seen before and it popped a fuse and great. Well, now what?
Yeah, it opened up another perspective. Also on my understanding of society and more depths to or more value to understanding the superficial that's going on and why it's playing out. It became more deep for me in just that little conversation. Gave me more perspective.
It's
opened up perspective.
It's like playing out in everybody's form. All of the parts, the fractal nature is playing out different form of the same function to release it.
And the beautiful part is that this whole realm and how it got corrupted is beautifully made for us to do it to ourselves. And that was my perspective. That
as within, so without. This experience was beautifully made for me. I started it, I finished it, we started it, we'll finish it. Okay, what does that mean? Well, what does it mean in your life? Are you going to finish it yet, or are you going to still play? Oh no, I've had enough. Oh, so you started it and you'll finish it. Same, bro, just now big.
Yeah.
Right, but is it big, or is it just what you're doing, right? So it can be conceptually really, really complicated because of all of this, but internally, what is it? Simple. Now, do it. And it does itself. But because we've changed the way we look at it, we can see it now for what it is. We can see it doing it anyway. It's doing it by itself.
Yes.
We can witness
that was kind of my awe and a little bit of it. It was so beautiful that yes, it's automated. It's
happening.
Yes.
You can see it now happening. You're conscious of it happening.
Yeah.
In a different way to one that you would ever conceive of.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I see my own part in it a lot clearer.
Yeah. Well, you could say it. You are it. If you wanted to conceptualize it and equalize it, you are it. Is it not happening in you? What sort of frequencies and all the doubts and all the noise and all the lack and all of these things, does it need an identity, or does it look exactly like the planet's going through currently if you just look at it overall? And that, now it's something you recognize, not currently are, and many, it's so depraved and it's so upside down and so immoral, that's not you anymore, but it was comparatively to a degree that you can remember. Now, that's changed, and that changed because you had no choice. What's happening out there? It has no choice. It either accepts what's going on, sees it for its bigger picture, or it's stuck in the game on the wheel of samsara.
Yeah.
And currently it's being offered choice. And now all of the information, as we know, is out there for people to make choices. But there's many that seem not to. Are they able to? I don't know.
A lot of them not even aware of they have to make it a choice.
Do they need to be? Or are they just there?
Exactly.
So all of this doesn't matter.
What do I know?
The knowing that it's there and you find what you needed when you needed it is enough to know that they will too, right?
Yes.
And if they're not, well, whatever, that's not your job.
It's a long time since I tried to help anybody on their path. I gave up on trying to. Yes, and that was more from me. Like I said, I was coaching me more.
In the same way that you just differently to the way you did it before, you gave it a different definition. Same fucking thing. You were trying to show us something she couldn't see. Teach, coach, whatever you want to call it. It's a what's the word? A progression, a level on the same spectrum of, oh, I can see, I'll help. Now, it might not be in the same mode, it might not be in the same role in the same way, but you're doing the same fucking thing. And of course, at this point, you're like you said, how beautiful it was that you could utilize the concepts with Jamie, utilize the principles and utilize the agreement, work through and practice that beautifully. So that's but in the same way, there was this element of I can help her by showing her this, but she's not listening. She's going, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Yeah, okay.
I was just observing it happening, and I was like, yeah, playful with it a bit.
And it's beautiful because it's not a fault. That's the thing about it. It's not a fault. It's a perfection. It's an imperfection becoming perfect. But it's only an imperfection when you see it as one.
Yes.
And relatively what it is a state of being that she currently is in. Now, the higher, stable one, the one that's giving more value, recognises on a soul level. Okay, now how much do you pander to it? How much do you accept it? How much do you tolerate it? How much do you... Or can you do it lovingly and just, come on, in these areas, once you start to recognise there's a connection, then you can set the rules a little bit more aligned to, hold on, so we can come back to them.
to be honest with you, I'm going back to why I kind of retracted and feel I felt alone for a long time now. That it's, how do I put this?
You won't find the mental.
You said it before, that some base knowledge has to be there
Yeah.
before some pre-agreements have to be there.
Or you have to reset them.
Yes, and I haven't gotten around to do that. I learned to do that yet because I haven't done it to myself completely yet.
Right. So when you action your boundaries internally, then you've got to review external's viewpoints of what your boundaries are. See, they come to you thinking silly thoughts about ways they can manipulate. Not necessarily consciously, but they're carrying frequencies of lack. Okay, it's not a fault, but that's there.
That's just a statement, yeah.
There's belief systems that will be outdated for you that are still there playing out in them. Okay, so they're fine.
Good.
Perfect. Now, I'm not, no. So, in these areas, you recognise that. Now, what are you going to do with it?
I don't know yet.
So, add value is what I'm talking about. Once you can see through these
Layers.
mists of confusion or denial or misunderstanding or misinterpretation or whatever, once you can see through these layers of mist, you look at the other and think, you know what we're here to do? You know what we're here to do? Now, I've got a better idea of what we're here to do, and you're sat with me, and we're here to do this. No, you're going to come with me. All right, we're not playing because you're here. You arrived. You turned up. You can hear it all, my dear, or my son. You can hear it all. I'm good with that. So we get it all on the fucking table as quick as we can.
Yeah.
So that we know where we're going to go with it. Now, how much are you able to understand the principles of boundaries? How much do you trust yourself? How much do you love yourself? How much do you know yourself, my dear, or my fella? How much do you know yourself? Right? So this is important.
That's the word.
For me anyway, to understand from the beginning, so that we set without expectation, contracts, not agreements. Can we agree on this? Yes, we can. Well, there's a gentlemanly agreement. I trust you with that agreement. Can you honour it?
Yeah.
Will you honour it? Because I will.
Well, until they show you they can't. Or
So
they
then we
forget,
can remind them, right? And we can expand.
But I see in myself and so many other people that we don't even know we're doing it. We think we're living up to all this. There's so much distortion.
So when do you change the record?
I think I changed mine a long time ago.
I mean by action in the moment and acting like the other side of that distortion.
Yeah. I just found it. I have no idea how to live it out yet, or how to.
It's beautiful, but why have I changed?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it, man. How to use it or to do with it, I don't know, man. No idea at the moment.
It takes. You're going to go into different places. Sometimes because you want to, other times because. And I started to do it, just why not? Alright, this is what's here, this wants to fight. Alright.
Yeah.
Well, this wants to dance with fuckery rather than with light. Alright. This is what we're doing, alright. I accepted that, and then, but I didn't accept the bollocks. So I accepted that it was there and it was on repeat.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't take it on any board. No, it was very straight from the beginning.
Well, I'm still taking on the bullshit, and now I had right this moment I had a lot more clarity on that bullshit and my own bullshit, and how to deal with that is going to be the next couple of days on interacting a bit and have that.
What will you negotiate away?
Huh?
How valuable are you? How valuable is your time? How trivial is triviality? Superficial? How pointless is shallow? How what? It doesn't.
But in many ways, I think that's why I'm also becoming inactive, because I don't see the values. I see more of the distortions and the lack it's coming from instead of the good.
So this is, you're moving through how long do you tolerate the intolerable?
Yeah, but not in the world, in me. In
Precisely,
myself.
precisely. The intolerable in the world is something nothing you can do about.
And I'm almost there.
But what's intolerable at the moment is your confusion.
Yes. Well,
You're coming out, dude.
The control. I want to control it, even though I'm telling myself stories that I'm not. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. But that's
And
all
I
good.
haven't given up that trying to control it yet enough to leave space for it to just be.
You need to control it. You need to, the little green one, green firefly. You need to try to control it to prove to yourself you don't.
I need to prove it to myself.
You need to try to control it until there's nothing left to control. And then you can prove to yourself that you don't need to control it.
Yeah. I want it all before I let go of it.
So you need to prove, this is what I call meticulous. So a meticulous nature. In this respect, need to is the wrong word, or you will do, one of the two. A meticulous nature over what it is your conception is. So in that overcomplication, it's your proving to yourself you will go through the simple. You will find it. You're overcomplicating it, but you will find it.
Well, just by having this conversation, already having shining light on the realization and the insight tonight of, like, I'm trying to look for something I don't know what it looked like is ridiculous, and its own nature is ridiculous to say out loud.
But it's a good driver. Now go and find it. And you'll find it doesn't... You'll find... See, you don't know what it looks like. But when you find it...
You know what it is.
No. You won't recognize it, because it won't resemble what you thought it looked like. It's not even that. It's like it comes in as a...
I'm kind of down the road that I don't feel like I have expectations of what it needs to be.
No.
I haven't dreamt of, like,
It's a release.
then I'm gonna be this, and then I can do this, and then I can manipulate the table, and then I can go through walls, and I can do all kinds of,
Fantasy.
all that fantasy shit, and dreaming of what it should be. I'm having no.
The need to, the wants for that, the wants for those toys is something that is a distraction. The purity of the intention is required for those toys, and that's the discipline. So without the, this is the superficial versus shallow, deep. If you can't control creation, if you're untrustworthy,
Yeah.
how the fuck can you be trusted with that?
Yeah. Who
Which
would
makes
give a
sense.
nuclear weapon to a baby?
Right. So in this way, yeah, it's redesignating a few areas and then actioning them. But what you said a minute ago is because you've got people around you. See, the people I speak to now met me since Boundaries.
They what?
Met me since the Boundaries. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't have old
Not-
people from the old Lee versions.
That don't know. That don't. I've got some couple but they also know a bit too. Not to the depth yet, but they know a bit too. So the Boundaries have always. So the people around me, I set out contractually to not get involved with from the beginning and set the tone.
Yes.
Set the bar, right? And now I had to walk to it. Don't get me wrong, I had to hold it too.
Yeah,
And the character assassinations and all the attempts to shoot me down, I had to hold that bar
Yeah.
and not succumb to these, right? But
Yes.
it was implemented. You could say on purpose. Can I use one that you said about you crafty fucker or something? You crafty bastard. You made me do this to myself. You You didn't promise me anything. You made me do this to myself. Something like that. Like, it was fuck. There was no connect. I'd never, no, all of the times for an attachment, no attachment, and no choice being made for another. All freedom was, would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this system was not system, it was a value thing of, hold on, I love you too, as much as me. So you be you. And no, I'm not being that. No. You. Right? I'm very aware of that from the beginning with a lot of people. So it made a count. I'd accounted for myself and for our interactions. And I maintained the integrity of them, right, through them all. So I didn't breach contract, never did, never would, because it's principle. I wouldn't say they breached my contract, but they said something that they're not honouring.
Yes.
Right, and it's not a problem, but it's also, do you know you're doing this?
Most of the time we don't.
No. And that is the aspect that plays out with denial. So I look for the depth of the cause. Most people try to keep the shallow waters still. No, come on.
Yeah.
So let's have a little look. Hold on, you said this, but you're doing that. Why? Make it make sense for me, please.
Yes.
And that to me is a fair conversation. Two people in common union with a common agreement,
Yeah.
being able to speak freely,
Yeah.
without judgment. But some people can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that because I couldn't as well. There was a time too, of course. Perfect.
Yes.
But
Sure.
let's have a look at the playing fields that we're in. Let's have a look at the environment we're creating.
Yeah.
Hold on. And because they've just done it, they can't deny it.
Yeah.
They can only try to justify it. But why? What's the point?
Because all the judgment in happening in their world or whatever trauma or whatever.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant for your mind. For your overview. Why are you going to try and justify? Why? It's got no foundation. It's you want to try to make it important, but it's not, son. But it is to you. I get that. But we're not talking about you, are we? We're talking about we, because we're having a conversation with an agreement that we've made in that conversation that we're going to look for things that are important, aren't we?
Yeah.
Not just perpetual different stories of the same theme, just because it looks shiny and your mind goes off track. Okay, if you want to pay attention to what I'm saying, do, but if you don't, then sweet, we'll stop. I'm more than happy to stop.
Yeah.
And that removes yourself from the need to, right? So the back door.
But the interactions of life and the communications of shopping and it's quite limited. I've had very little conversations these 3 weeks with.
What are you going there for? What are you going shopping for? Conversation?
No.
So why would you be looking for them?
Yeah.
You're not going to find them where there's no value, but you find them when you're looking for them because you want to make connection. What for? Do you think it'll be different this time? Or let them come to you?
Yeah. Oh. What's that?
But these are concepts, bruv. Okay, these are philosophies. These are things for you to think about. Not,
Yeah, but that don't make them less dangerous if you apply them and live by them and you make paradoxes on yourself. Then you get caught in that distortion loop.
You do, and you can experience it until you start.
Already have.
Until you start realizing that the philosophies and the stories aren't. They're real.
The what? The stories.
What I'm saying to you about this path, which doesn't designate a pathway for you, it says, why don't you let them come to you? Means that you've got to sit there and allow that to happen. But is it gonna? You don't know. Can you wait? Oh, I don't know. All of these things have to play out. But
My mind straight away goes, but I'm not made myself available either.
do you think that stops the universe?
No.
She found me in a field in Denmark.
Oh, was it in Denmark? I actually
Yeah.
thought it was Sweden or something.
No, Denmark.
No, it was
Denmark.
Denmark.
I was living in the car in a field in Denmark. Um, yeah, man. The
It
universe.
just someone flew in, contact him, and then flew in from Argentina and just dropped in with no idea. Like, hi, imagine things being brought to you, man. It was like,
Imagine my
else?
joy.
Yeah. Well, I bet
And-
it also taught you a lot. Actually,
It said
it's
it-
always a two-way street.
It enforced
in commune, there's always an agreement, like you just said somewhere.
in the way of what it did. There was areas already in place. See, so this is what I'm talking. This becomes more of a mapping. So the people that I met, we mapped frequencies. So it was explorations of areas that were already known to me but hadn't been mapped. So it was a journey through a lot of different layers of denial on many different perspectives that are all forms. So we did a lot of that.
fun.
Yep.
Fun.
Not fun,
Not fun. Okay.
apparently necessary.
Thank you for doing it, so I don't have to.
Yeah. So, but what I learned was release. Actually, it was more. It was. See, I had to sit through a lot of storms as a lighthouse. Water off a duck's back, shit. But it's all right. All right. No. Doesn't matter how many times. No. Fuck no. No. Kept it. Didn't shift an inch. Didn't move an inch from what that foundation was. No, because I've played the other game. Right now, I hope other people don't have to do all of that, but in their own aspects, they have got to know what it is without knowing all of the all of it. But it's still got to be recognised. So it'll still be broached by everybody else. It was, for whatever reason, a lot. Probably because I was showing them the truth without flinching, right? And I never backed down from it, because if I did, it meant I was trying to manipulate something, and it was self-evident.
But that's the trust I'm lacking. I don't know what's actually coming out of. I don't trust necessarily what's coming out of my mouth, or I'm somehow talking it down, but not on a conscious level. And I don't observe that
Yet, but it's the because the creation of the word comes from the thought. Start thinking about, do I need to speak? Why? So the questions of, why am I thinking I need to speak? What am I going to say? What for? What's the point? Is it valuable? What's this about? Do I need to? What am I trying to prove? Why? No. Before the action, there's that impetus. It's either a response or reaction, but it's that impetus before that creates the outcome. Now that part is in between. When it's subconscious or autonomous, we don't see what it's saying necessarily, we just believe it. But have you reflected on your actions and your words and your behaviors and your thoughts from a place of, did you have any negative ones about yourself that you believed? If you did, why? Okay, there's still room to move, because there was. Yes, I didn't trust myself. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I'm a bit lost. Okay, cool. When are you going to stop being? I don't know, but I'm hoping to be soon. Right.
Yes.
Well, keep looking. Right. So, and that's just truthful and honest communication within you
Yes.
about, this is what we're doing then. Okay. Well, how long's this for? I don't know, but I trust it. All right.
I recognize the conversation, not in a worldly manner, but yeah. I think that was last night I had that conversation. How long are we going to do this for? How long are you going to keep playing? When do you surrender to what's already known? Why you keep deflecting it or reflecting it or whatever you keeping it at an arm's length, whatever.
Yeah,
Metaphor
when are you
works.
going to allow it to filter through the systems instead of hold it back?
Say that again.
When are you going to allow that aspect of information that you've got to flood over you and fill the systems, rather than hold them back with
Yes.
with denial a little bit in these areas? I'm not sure. Well, that's okay. These areas I'm not sure are creating your areas where you become sure. They're necessary, unnecessary steps.
In a sense, the more I figure it out, the less I know.
Good.
Um,
Good. So you're going to end up with fundamental.
which kind of also made a loophole for my brain to get stuck on, because it feeded the ego story of not good enough and not knowing. And,
Good. It's a good driver. It's a good
yes.
impetus, because now you've got more desire for wisdom.
That's why my journey, I think I spoke about this, the shaming of me in the school and not fitting in the school, and feeling stupid and get pulled up to the, like, imagine I had a point where I was appalled by this. Actually, I was like, how can you do that to kids? So you take the kid is struggling, and you put them on a whiteboard and make in front of 30 other kids. You make them like, write this word. I couldn't even fucking write my own name. And I was so embarrassed and shamed. I've sat with that, and I've dealt with most of that. Apparently, there's still something like in there that's still making waffles.
No, because that wasn't cause. That was symptom. Right? Remember this. That was a symptom, not the cause. Your ability to feel that shame was the cause. Their ability to manipulate you into it is a symptom. So it shows you that was able to be done, and this is how they did it. That was a manipulation and a deviation. Of course it's wrong, it's upside down, of course it is, but it started your loss of innocence.
Say that one more time. My mind got lost in the aspect of this. Say that whole sentence one more time.
Fuck, what was I talking about? I just lost it.
Oh, sorry, man.
See it as a symptom, right? So the cause was before you remember. Everything else is a symptom.
The cause is
Cause.
the cause.
The cause of your separation, which you feel as shame, which you feel as detachment and disconnection. The cause of your fears, the cause of your shadows was disconnection, the corruption. Before you remember it. Everything that happened afterwards was significant because it highlighted it, that's all. It didn't cause it. You don't need to forgive the teacher, or you need to understand why it happened, not what it was. Why? Because this is what it's designed to do. It showed you what was disconnected, but it lost your innocence in your memory, and you use that then as your driver for guilt and shame and debt. That's not right. The injustice you felt from it created the debt in your real life, which has manipulated everything else. So these these significant memories of being the injustice, it's all about injustice. The how wrong it is, how upside, what's this about, and how in the moment you feel that shame, that and it just destroys you because it's such a loss of innocence. It's such a betrayal of empathy. And these, but we don't understand it, right? We don't understand what's happening.
No, of course not.
But underneath, that's the frequency of it, right? Now, that's because, again, we were already disconnected from that frequency of it prior, and this was a humiliation. Each has been humiliated.
Now I get the perspective.
And that's the aspect we played out then, to defend against that humiliation, rather than to understand it. So every symptom comes from these humiliating and shame-ridden aspects. They all seem to play out as causes.
They just needed to reinforce it.
Yeah, well, however, you needed to. So your memory got
get
you
the-
to where you needed to be today, if you wish. It doesn't have to be they did it to me. I did it for me, so that when I got to now, I'd remember.
Yeah.
Okay, it happened in that way. Okay, well that doesn't give it a judgment, nor are they.
That's just assessment.
It just gives it a form, right? But what did it do? It showed it was humiliation. What the fuck? Here, that's not right in my universe. No, right? Okay, so but it's not the original sin, because you could be humiliated.
Yeah.
Why?
I've already lost the
The connection, whatever it is. I see it as a corruption. I see it as I see it as a inversion on the lower harmonic frequency, the magnetic, which is
Yeah.
material.
be in touch with yourself, being the remembrance, the
Unconditional
knowing,
love for yourself, understanding that authority and it being.
Yes,
Like-
yeah, I've already lost that.
So it's gone by then.
Yeah,
And everything else plays out with a symptomatic, right? Which is why you don't need to forgive it.
no.
Sorry,
no,
you
it's
do
just
initially.
fluff.
You do initially. You need to forgive
Yeah,
it.
I'm past.
But then you get to accepting it before you start to sift it for gold. Then you can be grateful for it.
I'm at the point right now. I'm letting it go.
Yeah,
'Cause I
but
see
you've got
what it
the
is.
gold out of it. You're getting the gold out of it. It helps having these conversations so we can break it down a little bit, sift it, right?
Yeah.
Fine it up. Let's
Yeah.
get the fines out
Yeah.
of it, right? So it's looking at it with a slightly different viewpoint. Change the cause. You know, it's not a cause. It's a symptom. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I've got the cause. We're on the cause. This is a symptom. Thank you. Now I see.
that's the key. I don't feel on the course.
You
That's-
are, because you're harmonizing that solidity, bruv. That core is the cause. It's wobbled. It's unstable. You're fucking solidifying it, if you will. So the cause is you. To be here. Now we got to finish this. Right, you. You are the cause. You've got to harmonize that. No, we've got not enough yet. Keep going. That's the determination, right? These ideas. So it's not. These causes are much more stable for yourself. You've got to action them in your interactions and show to yourself, prove to yourself that you can be more
Yeah.
than you were, than you thought you were.
Yeah.
By tweaking your actions, by looking at things differently, by saying no, calling the game, commanding the game rather than playing it,
Yeah.
being response able, right? Means you can respond, bruv. How do you choose to be responsible with it? For you and your value and your settings and what you understand to be empathy, what you understand to be true. How they don't know.
At the moment, yeah, I'm kind of lost in the value, adding value back in, and codex and so on and so on. But
Clear that is which destabilized first. Fuck the values back in. Hold the principles of what those values must represent. Because you're trying to identify them. No, this is about resonance. It's about a harmonic. It's about what's right inside, not identity.
yeah,
But
that's what I don't understand yet.
you do. You know that.
I'm seeking it at
You
least.
get glimpses of it. You can feel it every now and then. It's getting stronger. You do know
Yes.
it. But it's subtle.
It's very subtle.
Oh, thank you, baby. So these things you do know. Don't forget. You already know them. The thing is, you don't represent them with the value that they deserve yet. You're missing the minor miracles. Looking for the major ones. No, sift.
Yeah.
Sift. Bring it out. Refine it. It's not going to get given to you. You don't get boof and there it is. No. Refine it. Spend your time in there. Do the work. Earn it so that it's valuable for you. Otherwise, it's easy to let go of again. If it didn't take you time to earn it, it's very easy to let go. Easy come, easy go.
Well, I'm learning at the moment.
Yeah, remembering. But learn it through practice. You're actually remembering, but what you're doing is designing your remembering. You're paying attention, refocusing
Yeah.
towards something that you don't know yet. That's all. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Do thoughts. So this
It's
is
enough knowing that there's something else there. Like you said before, we know it earlier in the conversation. We know something's there. We haven't just happening addressed it or looked at it, but we know it's something's there.
Yeah, you can feel it. It's an abstract thing.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not a feeling though, but it's
No.
something. It's a something that's like a feeling. Or I said, no, I don't know. I thought, I don't know, but it's there.
Internal knowing.
It's a gnosis, innate.
Yeah.
So it's like a harmony. Yes, that's that's there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I know it is. I do. Where is it? What is it? I don't know what it fucking is, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That part, that driver, that purity, that beauty, and it's got to be innocent. You can't limit it. So, in that, you're going to release limitation. You just don't know what's limiting you. And it's belief systems, but they are woven
Yeah,
in.
I'm kind of feeling a little bit of a deer locked in headlights, like overcomplicated. There's like so many angles, and then we're talking about all this. I'm trying to skip ahead, I think, as well. I'm impatient, maybe. I'm like, it's difficult for me to have this kind of insights or conversations with myself. I don't get far enough down the conversation to actually get to some of the insights we get together.
Yeah, that's all right, because these are explored for me, but they're in exploration for you.
Yes, I'm on it.
Yeah, but the way you're going, what I try to do is highlight. Not try to do is the wrong thing. Following this theme, it's highlighting quite a few different perspectives that are relative and relevant all around your thinkings. It's boom, 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 boom. The different perspectives of the same thing, but they're all slightly nuanced and slightly different. It sends your mind going, boom, 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 because there's all these complications. And these perspectives highlight them. But they're simple. And there's the, fucking hell, right? It gets you, okay, that's fine. Understand it's there, but it's simple. And go through it.
Thank you for that.
The more you go with it, the more it will make sense. The more you'll see what I mean, like you have been with what you said a bit earlier, with a few of these bits. You see more depth to what you heard before,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So what you heard now becomes deeper,
Yeah.
right? And it does the same. So as you start to get down into the depths, then the pattern recognition across
Gets deeper and deeper.
across spectrums becomes more evident.
Yeah.
You can see, or see, whichever the depth, it gives you spectrums of it all as well coming down, so you can see them in between us. How do I say it? You can follow the paths of them without knowing you're doing it. It's not that you see them, it's just that this is what's opening up. So you're deciphering this
Yeah.
at the moment. That's fine. Think about what you're doing in a bigger picture and allow it to happen with some element of fun, excitement. Excitement, yes. A bit of wonder, like a child would, at what next? I don't know.
Actually, we talked about this a couple of days ago, I think, also this playfulness, child wonder.
Yeah. Try to find some of
That's
that.
been really difficult for me for some reason to identify what that is.
I get it.
Because a lot of when the value of lost is when the story and the game was over, the fun of doing stuff. I don't even know if I've ever had real fun. The word fun don't represent what I used to do for fun anymore, and I don't know what it's gonna represent from here on out.
Find the beauty quickly in what it is that you're doing and why. Find the outcome. Know the outcome. Trust the outcome. The destination. Trust that when you're dealing with the complication. You've done it so many times before where you've broken down that which is fucking bullshit into the simple the other side to learn other areas of frequencies. Each time that you've raised your perspective, you've gone through a curve of going through the complicated to a simple. Now you understand the complicated once you get the other side. You stop doing it because you've made it no, because you've passed it, right? These complications are only there to hold you back whilst you need to trust yourself. Where are you going? Have you done it before? Yes. Did it happen on your watch? Did you command it to happen? No, it all went fucking tits and I didn't have a clue what was going on. But then it made sense and I can see it now differently. Right. So that happened. Do you see the patterns I'm talking about?
My one nostril just started running.
But can you see the patterns I'm talking about, even if you're not sure of them?
It's kind of what it usually are when we get to this point in the conversation. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I understand there's value in there, and I'm listening and
That's
trying
right.
to
Perfect.
comprehend and
Perfect.
savor to analyze later.
It's recorded as well, so this I won't keep going along this path at that point then. The thing about the same rules, right, it's when you're it's time with this, but it's patience with that time and discipline through it, even though it feels weird. Fake it till you make it, so that you understand waiting isn't the end of the world, and you quite enjoy doing it because you might find something in it that you weren't looking for.
Actually fun, actually. I had more, I've enjoyed more my doing no thing physically. I've enjoyed that more the last 2 days. Or maybe not enjoyed is the right word. Been more with at peace with it. Like, well, yeah.
Chill with it. So have the communicate. What are we doing today then? In the morning, what are we doing today then, bro? You got any plans? No. Well then, we're probably
The brain
not a
video.
lot. Okay, happy with that. Sweet. Let's see what happens. And it's very simple. It's like, what we got to do today? Is there anything planned? Why would we plan anything? Okay, yeah. Good point. Good point. Do we need anything? No. Okay, good. Sweet. Sorted. What's next? And the next day comes.
Yeah. Yes.
There's the time just because
Then
there's
it's
nothing
like-
in them.
Yeah.
We were just
I
talking
gotta get
about
some
time.
milk. Woo.
Like September, like we're going into September now. It was like this year's just poof.
And when you spend your time not wasted on trying to make memories or these things that are less valuable, or distraction and all of this disorientation, the days, because they are internally done, and most of the work's internal, most of the time spent on your own. It's not about being out there with people. You can be out there, that's fine, but that experience becomes one and the time just flies. It doesn't need to be held as a memory. What you earned from it, you learned from it, you remembered from it, from the time on your own, grows. So it's like it doesn't need to be anything more than that. But we want to make it more so we remember it. No, you do remember it when you need to. But only, you don't need detail. You only need gold. So you're not adding detail, you're just adding gold for when you need to
Yeah.
later, right? So this is where you're letting go of that need to do that stuff, because, and you don't know, you won't see.
I'm coming to realize that's why I'm doing it,
Yeah,
or doing no
but
thing.
in reflection you'll see for what, you'll thank yourself for what you earned by doing it in a different way, to the experience of going through it. Now the experience of going through it doesn't, it's your, how you choose to go through it, because it doesn't matter what you think, it's what you get from it.
Yes.
And your reflection will get that, not you, here. Because the reflection will see perspective, and you're stuck in the moment. The perspective you can garner if you've cleared of that, but if you're still in these processes of it all, you can't see what's coming next. That's okay. If you're the older you can, because it's in the past for him, and that's when you get what you're creating now. Then. Future Chris will thank younger Chris for this. And you'll be grateful. It shifted things. Everything shifted. But I know what you're saying. I'm not going to make it more complicated.
No, actually, that was beautiful. It don't need more. That was beautiful.
And you're recognizing this to be true. So now I can reference your truths philosophically. You know it to be true in the past, but you don't know it to be true this time because that point of reflection hasn't appeared yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because we understand backwards. We need the reflection to analyze and understand, and knowledge to make knowledge to wisdom.
But it's kind of like that what we were saying the other day. You reflect, and the conclusion is, it was me that I thought that it was this way, and it's not. Okay, I reflect in this other situation. The answer.
This is a different level of that though. Maybe this is more about reflecting on the good that you didn't see whilst you were suffering the bad. Right? So it's not the other way around where it was me. No, this way, I know it's me, but what the fuck am I doing? And that's the bad outside of it, the complication, the uncertainty, right? So this one's more of a grateful for that rather than a denial of the other way around.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So there's the two ways, when that's gone, this.
I was going a little bit like when sometimes the things that he says, he sounds like a prophet. It's because you're more aware that everything that you're going through, the answer is gonna be it's me, and it's gonna be okay. Every time it's gonna be okay. Though in the moment it may not seem like it, but you already know like the result is gonna pass.
Yeah,
That
but it'll
transient
continue.
thing.
See, the thing about the
That is
reflection is the result, yes, but the amount of times to get there
Yeah.
is this recycling. Because each time that you do the same thing, which is the same thing, each time repeating in a different way, you're not taking the goal. So but ultimately you'll get there, but to get there, you've got to see it. So that knowing that you're going to get there when you're here doesn't stop it. It just pushes that further away because it's superficial. You're not actioning it. You're just expecting it. I know it's going to be there. I don't need to do anything. No, you do.
Yeah.
No, you do. You need to be disciplined. You need to do all the things you need to not do all of the things you think you shouldn't do. You should do them all. I know I'm going to get there, so I don't need to. Yes, you make amends, you atone, you make sure that you get there first, because you know you're going to get there anyway. So you get there first, and then you don't need to wait. Right? And these respects, this is, you can bring this stuff towards you because it's something you can do. Each can do this, right? You can't, otherwise it becomes something that people don't action. And I get the areas of limbo and the areas of plateau, but there's an area of superficial in this where ones don't action and they believe and expect and hope and have all of these storylines that are running underneath that hold them at an area of superficiality, as we've all experienced. So there is an impetus in this of you could say, if I give you a shovel, the hole will end up dug. Yes. And you can sit there and wait for the hole to be dug. Until eventually you dig the fucker and say, well, now it is. Because who's going to do it for you?
Exactly. Yeah.
And this is that accountability and actioning that accountability responsibility rather than just, well, I'm that, I need to do this.
Yeah, like when one is in the victim mode. There's a moment when you say, okay, if I don't like wipe these tears and I just get up and continue, go make a coffee, so do whatever, nobody's gonna come and get me out of this state. So if I have to deal with it, okay. Yeah, definitely.
That's part of the fear element. You can call it victim mode. That's just, yeah, whatever.
But
That's
it still give you the accountability in the end. Nobody's going to come and save me, and people take themselves out of it. They just end up the same place because they didn't fix why it was me getting me there.
They don't become accountable for it in open air by actioning it in truth. So what they do is they superficial it and don't. And kind of in a manner of putting it, what it is an element of self-forgiveness based upon a false blame of I was right. Go. But I forgive myself for that. But I was right. And that allows them to continue as if nothing happened.
Yeah, makes them do it all over again.
That repeats because there's been no accountability made for when it did happen.
Yeah.
There's just well, it was your fault anyway, fuck you.
Yeah.
Underneath it all.
Yeah,
Right.
yes.
And so it's not forgiveness at all. It's selfishness. And that's why it repeats. But it's under the banner of virtue. It's self-righteous. Injustice happened. And injustice happened, and that's why I reacted, and it's your fault for doing it. You've got to stop these sort of areas, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's that injustice which is fired by blame and shame within. But and they can forgive themselves all they want. But if you don't action the amendment and the atonement, you carry your own debt. Nothing stops. You do it again and again and again and again. Nothing stops. It needs to be confronted. And that's when you make promises not to do it again. It's by humbling yourself and saying, I fucking did.
Yeah.
Taking ownership and accountability. And if these are actioned outwardly, then apologize.
Yeah.
You know, in this respect. Say, oh shit, hands up. Yeah, my bad. However it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be deep if it's not really corrupt. But if it's just a fall into an angry outburst, take ownership of it and action it. If it's with somebody else, take ownership of it and make amends. Don't just forgive yourself. What happened? What was the effect of your cause? Deal with the effect whilst changing the cause.
Yes.
Otherwise, the effect stays as a subliminal.
Yeah.
And these are all these areas, right? That hold people in belief systems that are autonomous. You were talking about in the molecular, okay. They're within the frequency ranges within the physical vessel that hold abstractions that are corrupt or not refined, out of tune.
But every human being on planet has that.
And had some, but
Nothing.
yes, and
yeah.
so
Nothing. Yeah.
and you raise yourself above that. Is that you, or was that you? And you recognise that yes, there's limitation in belief systems within that aspect of creation. Okay, hello, who are you? It's not something that's hidden from you. It's just something you haven't accepted yet in everybody else. Why not? It's there. So get used to it and deal with it and be kind to it, because it's you too, just experiencing it in a different way. Right? You remember, well, these belief systems that held me, okay, so it's you too, right? Everybody's experiencing it in their own way, and so did you. So you can see better, have some empathy for them. And in this relationship then, choose what you want to do. But you're seeing past so much bigger now than you were with the the timber thing that you went on, which started off a lot of this exploration of release. Right, now you can see so much more clarity from that point, right? Then it was just fluff you were looking at. Now you can see that it's all fluff.
I was still playing in my stories.
It's all fluff. Everyone, fluff.
Yeah.
But it's really important fluff to them. Okay. How do I play in this?
When you got an answer for that one, let me know.
Well, we know it's changing. So the beauty is there. You know that the inevitability is inevitable. You've felt it, you've experienced it in different ways. Things have changed that you never could conceive were there, no matter, could change. Different perspectives that you're viewing from now that Christian 10 years ago could, what the fuck is that? Right?
Yeah.
Well, so different to what you understood to be true before. What's happening on the planet? Is it doing the same thing?
Changing every day. Yeah.
Right, so things are changing right now. What do you do with them? Do you get involved mid-change? How? And what for? Or do you trust the change is happening and allow it and just be yourself? You don't need to be anything for anybody else, see, outside of you. You need to be it for you. So what are you going to do?
I needed to learn first how not to
Perfect.
do that and
Perfect.
accept and be that. That was actually, that might be the last thing holding me back.
Just action things differently, tweak them around. Feel when it's wrong. Feel when there's something there that's not. Hold on. What's this? Feel when there's that there and respect it. Okay, that's what it is. All right, that's what it is. Okay.
Most of the time when I'm in this, to be honest with you, I feel numb.
Now, yeah, but you're not.
It doesn't give me like big spikes.
Okay, you might not represent it in that way. Understand it then rather than feel. Recognize it. Know it's there.
Yeah.
It's not a judgment. It's a wisdom. Now, if you meet somebody that it proves hasn't got that there, that's an anomaly. Because I never have. To some degree of limitation, whatever it is. So, I honest, hold hands up, I never have. So, but there are different varieties of spice, varieties of emotionally adept individuals. So ones that are non-reactive and are past that. There's layers and layers and layers in there too that are in areas of the same thing. There's also layers that are still in reaction, reactivity, external lack of responsibility for their own output, forgetfulness. So that all of these layers are there. Hello, who are you? You can recognize them within how many layers you've got of understanding, of fear, of what? No, I remember being that, I remember being that. Shame. When they're shaming another, what the fuck? You know what shame feels like. It's awful. But you see it in them. Ah, horrible. And it's self-created and it's self-perpetuated. And it doesn't need to be, but how difficult is it to explain that?
Very.
So you got to take their pain and give them gold.
Funny you say that.
But you're not taking pain. You don't need to listen to their pain. You understand it and give them gold.
I've been touching on this without knowing it, but the last time I did, I was taking physically,
Yes.
literally, their pain in. This was my work with Sina, who's trying to guide me through this, of not being taking it,
A sponge.
but just observing it being there. There's a difference of knowing it's being there and let it be, and taking it in and taking it with me in my suitcase and
Yes, there is. Hang on.
Because you just observe it, recognize it, know
Yes,
where it is.
yes, very different approaches.
I like to see this now, anyway, as a shield, a sphere, a shield, and the feelings, the distortions, are recognized in the sphere, not the physical. They're detected and negated, deflected, but recognized. So they're not something you take in.
Exactly.
You know what
But
they
the last
are.
time I was kind of in this realm and on this path, I think what made me bounce off that course a little bit was last time I went fully into taking their pain.
Understanding it,
Yeah,
transmuting it, not
exactly.
sympathizing
I
with
didn't
it.
understand the next part of it.
No, that's the bit that's missed, right? So this is why it
Yes.
traps another layer of people into doing this and regurgitating loosh energy, regurgitating negativity, thinking it's right, but they're not, because this is going to continue. You're not taking it from them, they're going to continue. You've done nothing. Don't take it from them. Give it them back,
Yeah,
honestly, and then they've got to account for it.
yeah.
Taking it from them, they think it's accounted for. No, it isn't.
I was missing the
Boundaries.
next part of the.
You're missing boundaries. You're missing value sets.
I was learning the first tools in the toolkit, and then I didn't learn how to.
You were
Yeah.
learning the corrupted version, the lesser version, the limited versions. You didn't have to.
That was in the perspective I could hold at the time.
Precisely. The other perspective wasn't available. That's fine. But
Yeah.
when you review it,
Yeah, I can only do that now by have gone through it and look at it backwards.
and you'll repeat that process on a few occasions and see them differently. You'll see deeper stuff that you went through and understand it better. And that's fine. And it may be repeat memories, it may be different ones, and that's cool. You'll just see them differently or recognize the energy of them and just understand them differently. Very quickly in your mind, something may fleet in or may take a couple of minutes. But you'll understand it differently. Just slightly. You'll see something else and it'll just tweak things. It's beautiful.
It's already happened tonight, but like a couple of times already now. I was like, wow, that actually it opened up perspective more or gave new pathways.
And this is the exploration I enjoy, Brav. Thank you. In looking it's looking across a plane of perspective and putting function to it,
Yes.
and just speaking to it. Okay,
No,
that's an
I
exploration.
enjoy playing around as well, and it fits straight into my own process. And some of it are more abstract but it's beautiful. I love these explorations too.
Funky, the funky mental verse. But
Yeah, man. What you want to shift gear? What is that about? You said earlier the way you were talking about it earlier. It seems like you already have some kind of a plan with it.
I don't know what the plan is. I kind of got a concept of the outcome, but
You have a heading, then
yeah, direction.
call
So
it that.
I'm currently talking reflectively about Lee, right? But from a current view, without giving it too much of a height. So I'm just talking about what happened, collapse, blah, blah, and time and
Your
this.
process.
So it was, but it wasn't the process. What it was a backward or very, very quick overview without any detail too much, but the important parts of what those showed me. So it
Key
took
points.
key points, right? So it was dropping in fundamental principle. It was leading towards things, right?
Yeah.
So it's just three, I think, maybe three I've done at the moment on, a path that started in 2019, but without giving anything further than that much, apart from it's like a prelude, but it's done on a place of without what it meant. It was just pointers. So I thought about this and I thought about that. Okay, but I know that is key because it opened up a lot of locks later.
Yeah.
But I didn't know at the time,
Yeah.
right? So it was introducing those as points of perspective
Nice.
for people who may watch it. Now,
Yeah,
the way that it's weaved or the way that it's spoken, I speak about it like that, it might not be seen like that, I don't know. But it's very innocent, it's very just me, right? One I did today was a little bit of an overview from a higher place, the roof. I went up on the roof and did a higher view.
Oh,
And
the actual, the video. Yeah.
yeah, and that one's...
I thought you were making reference to the conversation in the video, but
Oh,
yeah, now I get it. You are
Yeah.
physically on the roof.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I
Continue,
could give
sorry.
a higher view. So I went up on the roof for a higher view and gave
Cool.
gave an overview
Yep.
that is out of character with the first 3 videos.
Okay.
But the first 3 I'm sat there just talking about Lee, right? This one, more of a review of the fractal nature and what's going on in the outside world. So, but I didn't get in front of this camera. I spoke behind it.
Oh, all right.
All the others I'm in front of.
All right.
So I just put the view of the camera up there looking out and spoke over it.
Yeah.
All the others, so I'm doing the personal ones facing and then I'm going to do overviews from the overview and
Yeah, nice.
bring in more depth into both, but build up why. So I'm trying to create the scaffolding architecture, if you want, of the
Yeah.
why this. Why am I saying this? Because this. Can you see how this grows to that?
Yeah.
Can you recognize it in yourself, what you're doing? Can you see that these points, can you relate to them? And then I can bring in that which will be relatable if people pay attention. But if they don't, so be it.
It's their choices.
Yeah, it's for me anyway. I'm just exploring and having a little bit of fun and getting something that's harmless out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very,
Oh, nice.
that's the idea anyway, bro. 'Cause what else can I do? I know trying to change people's minds.
I am also a little bored of just looking at the wall. Which is not the whole truth. I'm not doing
Yeah,
that
you
all
can
the
find
time,
something
but you know
to-
what I mean.
You can find something to do that takes time meditating that you kind of get something from, even if it's just a time waste.
Well, I haven't even sat on my butt for 3 weeks yet. Sunday, I think I will have turning 3 weeks. I think I can give myself 3 weeks and a bit more before I have to fucking go do shit. I've been doing shit for 40 years. I think I've earned a bit of fucking downtime actually. And I'm gonna allow that with no fucking bad guilt or all that shit from that old world to allow me to be in this time and place and do this process for me because I'm curious and I want to and I know there's something there and I'm looking.
When you
And-
find that, you'll find that you can spend the time doing that slightly differently or whatever. You can do what you're doing now because you trust you've done it. Now you can sit there and do different things knowing you've done that. And so
True.
it changes to
True.
you don't need to be doing that part of it anymore. That goes to autopilot. Now you're going to be doing this part of it, but you still got to sit there. So, and it could be that way around, right? Now, what you're going to do when you sat there this time?
Well, in
Moan?
some sense, you said it earlier. Inaction will always call for action at some point.
Leads to action, right?
Yeah, it will lead to action. That was a better word. Lead to action.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just all the action. I'm assessing at the moment anyway what my ego story is and finding all that shit out. So I'm addressing what is actually the real thing for me to go and do. Where it's not all coming. It's not coming from lack. Where it's coming from me.
It's coming from
And-
reason.
And I haven't found that yet.
It's coming
Trusted
from,
it.
It's coming from reason, wisdom. It's coming from something else that's it's not lack. It's like, what do I do? Right.
Well, a lot of all the other stories comes from lack. Because
Yeah, they do. But this search for something to do that you're looking for is something valuable. But when you boil it down, what's valuable? It becomes very difficult to find what you're looking for in something to do. It has to be necessary. Okay, that's something that we can all negotiate with because it's
Yes.
necessary.
It's a comfort zone. How much are you willing to?
I'm not talking about earning money. I'm just talking about necessary things. When you take some
Yeah.
food or stuff, it's a necessity. So you go out.
Yeah.
There's many. You need to go to the toilet, right? You get up, but otherwise, why are you moving?
Yes.
When you boil it down to their fundamentals and you sit with that, and you
Yeah.
then you come out with a whole new value set of why am I moving for this? For what? For no, no. I know what that does because you've taken the time to remember what that does and not just be in it,
Yeah.
right? And then you end up with, right, do I go swimming again? And how? So you can be in it, but you're not in it. You're not of it. You're just in it, and let it be, and you just go about your business.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be interfered with, unless
As
you.
you said earlier when you came out, like, oh, it's been a long time since I've been back here. Actually, I was like, time just has been, and the solitude. I've heard this now from several places. Of also another friend here. It was like, we talked this Friday, and he was like, I'm sorry, man. I've kind of been seeking solitude for the last. I'm like,
It's a shaking.
I know what you mean. Kind
There's a
of.
shaking happened. It's a quickening. There's a shaking, and it's in that lower area, and it requires people to be insular, look inwardly, introspective.
Yeah.
It's a requirement, and the universe puts people where they need to be so that they choose solitude, and when it's required. So there's no choice about it. It's the acceptance of it or the fight. So I think a lot of people have been in that area for the last month, if not a bit longer for some, but certainly now that shaking. What the fuck's this? Right? It's rocking people's worlds.
The loneliness or the solitude.
Yeah. They're having to do it because it's something they don't want to do. And it's in there that they're going to find themselves, and that's going to change their life. But it's the last thing they want to do whilst telling everybody is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Now they're going to do it, or not. That's their choice. But they've been given the time to look. That's the thing about a lot of this. The beauty of being given that time and that space is for you. It's not against you. But because of that, what I want to do, it feels like it's a chore. It feels like it's a pain, it's a problem. And that's where the gold is, because you've got to earn it with the discipline to know, no, I know it's important. No, I know it's important. No. Okay. And then you earn your stripes, if you like.
Yeah. Sticking it up.
In an abstract way of saying it, yeah. But doing that, I mean, I'm giving it some reification as if it's like that. But it can be seen like that, as a sort of way of, yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. So, all right. I need to know. I can't say I've done it unless I know what I did. Going through the complication, you find out what you did, what you had to change, what you had to harmonize, what you had to see differently, what you had to review. All of these things you get the gold out of, and then you know them. But until then, these are details.
You can complete the puzzle.
No. But you've got to go through them to simplify them. The quickest, trust yourself before you do. But don't fake it. You can trust yourself before you do. But don't fake it. Beautiful.
Maybe it's in a sense that's what I'm scared of. Like, am I trusting myself? Am I? Am I not?
Can you?
Can I?
What's your actions? Where's your experiences of it? Where's your actionable experiences that you can say, there I did, there I did, there I did, there I did?
There is a lot more of those on the outside than on the inside. Does that make sense?
Well, why haven't you taken the gold from them then? Why weren't they actioned from the inside out?
Because I was taught differently and programmed.
Yeah, so they weren't, a lot of what you're saying, but you didn't, they weren't inside, so they weren't an inner action, they were a thinking, right? So that way you can action them outside, but you don't know what they are. Because you didn't have the depth of them, you just had the shadow.
Yeah.
That's all right, now you know what the depth of them is, now you know what the gravitas is, now you can action them, and it will look very different
It doesn't feel that way.
to what you were doing.
It doesn't feel that way.
Watch what happens when you're approached to be manipulated, or when somebody's trying to take from you.
Yeah.
Why are they? You don't need that. Where's the boundary? That's not what we do. No, right? So
I was observing that today. We're driving with the local friend here, and I was like, he was showing me that bookshelf, and I was like, no, if you want my help doing that, like I didn't understand why I was there and what he wanted. The energy was a little bit, and his English is a little off. Well, it's complicating for him to actually speak what he wants to, because he don't actually have the vocabulary to fully be fluent.
If he wants a cubby hole in a wall, and you want to do something, do it. But it's a cubby hole in a wall. Don't be worried about the library aspect. If you can help the geezer out, and he's willing to give you a couple of quid for it, and you all enjoy doing it, do it.
He didn't ask me to do it. I was waiting for him to ask. I'm like, I'm not going to initiate. Like,
What I'm saying, in the respect of, if he didn't ask you, then what's he showing you for? What are you wasting
Exactly.
my time for, bruv? But
that was kind of my feel, and I was like, no. If you want something, you're going to ask me. If you want me to help you with it,
then broach it, because he's took you there in the first place. You know the rules. Tell him the rules. He doesn't need to. I can help you with that.
You know why I didn't? Because I don't want to go build it.
Well then, not for me, son. Thanks.
That's why I didn't engage it.
Yeah. So what you brought me in here for? Do you want me to build that? No. You can bring it in very differently when you're saying to the geezer, "What? No, I don't do this stuff."
What's it called?
I'm not trying to be cruel with this either. What I'm trying I'm just trying to show you a more. Hold on.
Yeah, a more direct way to go on it.
On that respect, yeah. That's what you'll start to do. Because otherwise, this happens to you all the time. Think about this as a pattern. Think about this as a pattern.
Yeah.
And set the precedent for the next one. Right? It doesn't need to be tolerated. There's an expectation there. There's all these things there. There may well be a hope that you say to him, I'll do that for you. All of these things I want. Okay, you want something from me, but you're going to try and manipulate. No, bruv. Come on. Let's have some love. Let's have some trust. Oh, this isn't what we do. We do it this way. If you'd like something, ask me.
Yeah.
This is how we do it.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that, because that's no good. Ask me, and you can do this in their language. You can do this in their way, even if it's broken. No. This way. And you show.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a different way of approaching it. And you start to action that, because this is enough of this.
I was just in a holding, observing position of myself. I was non-engaging.
Hey.
I was there, but non-engaging. I was like, why are you in my field? Why did you clearly wanted me to come and see your house, and you wanted to interact, but you
know that he's after something, or that there's something going on that you didn't feel right about.
I was just being, I had no judgment to it. I was like, okay, fair enough. I wanted to, get a bit more out anyway.
Don't give it reason. Did you know that that's what he was doing when you left with him?
I have no idea what he wanted me or talk about, or wanted from me, or nothing from me, or
him?
just wanted to interact.
So
I don't trust anybody.
So he came with you, right? You went
Yeah.
to his place, so something happened where you trusted him to take you somewhere. He said, come with me. Or he took you there. You trusted him. You went there with him. What for?
Exploration.
Right. Where was the agreement for that? Was what's going to happen? You made it, hoping that you can get more, whatever this is going to be worthwhile. What was it? Worthwhile? Or was it kind of a waste of time? It just showed you another way that you can waste your time.
Most of the
Be honest
things
about
I'm
it.
having,
Be
but it
honest
feels
about it.
wrong to. I'm still fighting this in me with sitting still and not doing
I'm
anything.
not talking
It's-
about it
it's-
that way. I'm talking
I
about
know.
understanding it. You can still do it. It's not stopping you doing it. This is the point. It's not a fault of doing it. You can do this happily. Understand what you're doing. Now, are you doing it for him or are you doing it for you? You're doing it for you. All right, I'll go with you, mate. Yeah, let's go have a little look. Let's see what this is. But set the rules. What are we going for? Ask the questions before you go.
Yeah.
Understand what it is that you're committing to.
Yeah.
Have that little bit of respect so you can set the boundaries before you go.
That was what I didn't. I didn't set the boundaries. Like, or
So there's an understanding and there's an agreement. So there's no expectation or falsehood at the end. There's just what we started to do. It's just being open in those areas.
I recognized it in a conversation. I had somebody added me on Facebook, and no, I don't add people before I actually talk to them.
Yeah.
And so we initiated contact, and he was like, "I got something for you. Guess what?" And I was like, it felt so far from me, and I was like, guess what? I'm like, what the fuck is this? And my text back to him was like, speak your mind.
Perfect.
And,
There you go.
and I was like setting a
That's
clear
a boundary.
boundary.
Perfect.
So I see I'm already started doing this.
In the bigger aspects, in places that are distant. So you're going to start to put them in the peripheries. Truth, straight truth, no fluff. Please,
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So how do we action that in real life? Well, we agree to what's happening, so we get an element of what the fuck's going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
And before we start.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a simple shift. It doesn't stop you doing anything. It doesn't stop you doing that. But what it does is it gives you
The
foresight.
gnosis.
It's wisdom. You understand what you're doing and you make an agreement before you do it. And at any point, then you can stop.
Yeah.
No, mate, not that way. No.
Yeah.
And develop the conversation if you want, but it goes against what we started.
Yeah.
So we've got this agreement. Otherwise, it's built on what?
But yes, but most of the time, then
It's got to be done,
It's
mate.
the same game,
It's
and they
got to be
don't.
done.
They,
It's got to be done and
making
practiced.
agreements with
It's got to be done it's got to be practiced.
when not the basic steps on. They can. You can't make agreements then.
No, you can't on any level that's deep. You can't. But you can make an agreement on what you'll accept.
Now I understand why it's not the right way of expressing it, but you know what I mean. Pushing people away, and why I felt more lonely. It's like
You can't make agreements that they're going to meet. You can't hold them to your principles. You must hold yourself to them. So,
yes, and I thought I was doing that,
Possibly,
but
I
I
know.
wasn't doing it on. I was doing it on the shallow level, but not in the deep level.
Possibly.
Like you explained before with the, yes, I understood the concept, but I never understood the depths of it. Now I see more of the depths, so I'm going to apply it differently now.
if you think about the depths as a responsibility,
Yes.
so now I see that. Wow. Right?
Yeah, fuck you for saying that.
Kettle's on there.
Kettle's on. I hope you said fuck you for saying that, rather than thank you. I hope that's what was said. I know, because it's good.
All over my brain.
Oh man, I love it, because I get what you mean. I did, but I get exactly the meaning by it. because it
Yes, I know you.
perspective.
Yeah. I had this a couple of times also with Sina. I was like, fuck, now I realize now I actually have to do it, live it,
Yeah.
do it, honor it.
Try it.
And I was like, fuck! Okay, yep, okay, stop, okay.
I thought I could get away with not doing that.
Yes.
I thought I could bypass that. Fuck.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh,
I've
bollocks.
tried. Bollocks. I've got to take responsibility. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm begrudging and I'm going to have a tantrum and I'm going to smack my feet on the floor. And I'm going to blame everybody, because now I'm a princess. yes. That sort of fuck, yeah, I get that one. But,
Oh, me and Sina have fun with that too. She sees it as soon as it hits me, it's like, fuck you, shit! And actually it's more fuck yourself, we're actually avoiding it and doing like all the childish drama shit for not doing it.
you can't blame yourself for what you didn't know.
There you go.
But, you can initially. You just got to learn to. Yeah, so you're off.
Now I get to go and play with it.
Yeah, explore. But
Explore.
the more you're past the anger phases, the more you're past these lower levels, the more this is peaceful, less turbulent, but still needs to be gone through. And it's not as reactive, it's not as lost, it's not as confused as it was before, but it's got elements of them all.
I feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it relinquishes its compression, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love you, man.
Love you, bro. Thank you.
Pleasure, as always, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
Right, that'll do ending this.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye bye.